now we're going to work a band of griddle stitch in our blanket, and this is made up of double crochets or single crochets for our people who are using the US terms, and treble crochets or double crochets if you are using US terms. So I'm going to use the UK as I'm talking to you, so I'll be using double crochets and trebles. So if you look at your pattern, it'd be quite handy when you're watching this tutorial to have the pattern to hand as well, because you may not be used to seeing instructions given in brackets. So when you're looking at griddle stitch, the first instruction is to do a chain one. Let me check, I wasn't sure whether I'd done one then, so there we go, a chain one. And we'll turn our work around, and then we're going to do a double crochet in the next stitch. So if you remember, with double crochet, we leave that first chain, that's our turning chain, and we'll do a double crochet in the first stitch. So that's pushing the hook through, yarn round, 2 loops on the hook, and pull through 2. And then you'll notice on your pattern, it says, well, there is a bracket, and it will say 1 double crochet in the next stitch and then 1 treble in the next stitch. So we're up to the treble. So remember, yarn round hook, under the 2 loops, yarn round, pull through 2, through 2. And then the bracket closes. But after the bracket, it gives you an instruction to continue to do that until the end of the row. So we're going to continue to do 1 double crochet and 1 treble, and we're going to keep repeating that. So the next stitch is a double crochet, and then the next stitch is a treble. Whoops, sorry, just going to do that one again. So yarn round, under the 2 loops, yarn round, pull through 2, pull through 2, and now we're going to do our double crochet. We're just going to keep repeating it. So now I'm going to do a treble, and then a double crochet, and then a treble, and then a double, and we're just going to continue working along. Now I've done a little swatch here, so if you look, you can see the lovely texture, because on the next row, where we've done a treble, we do a double, and where we've done a double, we do a treble. So you get this lovely, lovely stitch. So I'm just going to carry on. So I was on to a treble stitch. If you forget where you're up to, it's so easy just to look back, and you can see where you've done your treble and where you've done your double. And you're just going to steadily work along the row. So it's amazing how those 2 basic stitches, double crochet and treble, make this beautiful textured work. So already you're only really just starting the first part of the blanket, but you've mastered, you're onto your 3rd stitch. And I'm just going to carry on working along. So shall I meet you at the end? Right, so I'm at my last stitch now, which should be a treble stitch. Now, if it isn't a treble stitch, you need just to look back along your row in case you've missed a stitch out. So you should end with a treble. There we go. So I've done a treble. I've made sure I've gone into that very end stitch, so I've got a lovely straight side. And then I'm going to do a turning chain of 1, and I'll turn round. And because we start each row with a double crochet, and we've ended that row on a treble crochet, the first stitch we go into there to do our double is on the top of that treble. So that's our double crochet, and then into the next stitch we're going to do a treble crochet, and we're just repeating that all the way along. So we should start with a double and we should end with a treble, because we've got an even number of stitches. So it's a double crochet under those 2 loops and a treble crochet. And you can see how that builds. So we have the first stitch our double on top of the treble on top of the double, and so on. We've got this lovely textured stitch.